Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Adamantium here, and we're going to be playing some Clash Royale today. And so today, specifically, we will be working on finishing the Elixir Extravaganza challenge. And so as you can see, I'm at 6 wins, 2 losses. I did lose, actually, 3 other matches. I restarted once already because I started out with not a completely different deck, but a significantly different deck just to kind of test things out, and kind of changed it once I saw what the challenge was like and what people were playing. And so this is the deck I'm currently playing. It's pretty gross, and I don't think it would ever work in a normal situation. So since it's a special challenge, everything is level 9 or below if you have lower level cards. So I'm using a lot of cards I don't typically use. As you can see, they're pretty lower level for me. And I started out, this actually started as the double pigs deck that I made a video about a few days ago, and I just switched things out a bit. I got rid of skeleton, earthquake, and both royal hogs and hog rider. So half the deck is different, but that was the base deck I started with because I said, hey, some of these cards actually seem like they would work, and I kind of tested it out to see what cards were working and what I was up against. And I was facing a lot of Sparky, and I wasn't really sure how to be able to counter that with all the eagle and stuff coming at me. It was just really difficult to get at the Sparky. Very often my opponent's Sparky would just stall at the bridge, and I was never really able to get a lot of damage on it. So if you can't beat him, join him. And I decided that I was going to play Sparky in response. Clearly my opponents were doing well with it, so I decided to take a note from them and play Sparky. And so then I had already decided to switch out things so that I would include Battle Healer, because everyone knows that in an E-Golem challenge, everyone's gonna play Battle Healer. Should it be like that? No, but the reality is Battle Healer and E-Golem go hand in hand. So threw her in there along with the Heal Spirit, and I decided that I didn't have enough air defense, and I also didn't have enough splash, so I added in the bats and the baby dragon instead of the skeletons and the earthquake. Earthquake initially I was really hopeful about was going to work because I did face a few decks with Inferno Towers, Tesla, Expo, but the thing is, playing buildings in general seems to be pretty pointless because once you have like 2 e-golems at a time going after that, they destroy it and still get on the tower. So playing a building seems to be pretty pointless. And then I no longer have any spells in this deck, but I decided that was okay. I definitely think you can play spells, something like Fireball and Rocket you can definitely get a lot of value with, and Log if your opponent is playing a bunch of swarm troops. There's been a lot of Skarmy. I've been seeing a lot of Skarmy clone. So definitely Log and Fireball are good against that, and Rocket you can get a lot of value potentially if your opponent tries to play a big push with their e-golems. But I just decided that wasn't my style. It's a bit of a frantic game mode. It's absolute madness. So I didn't feel like I could have an amount of time to think and place the spells and everything because it's such a frantic game mode. So I decided to forgo spells, have cards that could deal with my opponent's e-golems, and have kind of splash troops like Hunter, Firecracker, Baby Dragon that can affect the Eagle and the troops that are kind of backed up behind it in a push from my opponent. So I'm gonna go in. Hopefully we can get these last 3 wins without any more losses. Don't have to restart. I personally think this is probably one of the easiest special challenges I've ever played, and that's not because you can't lose or anything. It's just there's not a lot of thinking or skill involved, which obviously we all knew was going to be the case because this is an Elixir Golem challenge. An Elixir Golem is pretty much the opposite of skill. This game mode is fun though. It's absolute madness. It's crazy. It's so frantic. Like, I'm already leaking because I'm just like, what is going on? Where is everything? And so you'll see, yeah, my opponent's playing a lot of similar things. I'm pretty sure I faced the same exact deck earlier. And the reason why I can even comment on it maybe being the same deck, is that it has that bowler, and that's something that is definitely not in every deck, but definitely in quite a few. My opponent is playing Hogs, which is definitely different. That's the first time I'm seeing this actually, so this must not be the same deck. However, I was playing Hogs earlier, as you know, and I decided that it really didn't work well. And that's just because I never had a chance to actually put together a push with Hogs. It was always just so frantic, and I was always having to defend and never was able to put down the Hogs. So we're gonna lose probably both towers. We're gonna lose this match. I definitely jinxed us. But yeah, I personally found that Hogs weren't worth trying to play because this is all about counter push and not offensive. Yeah, that was real bad. So that's essentially what we're gonna see in this is just a lot of toxic cards and gross decks, and I'm part of the problem. I'm playing the same thing everyone else is, but we're just having fun. It's a goofy game mode. I honestly have not been impressed by special challenges this season, so hopefully that's better next time. Not because they haven't been fun, that's the thing. They have been fun, which is good. But it's just the rewards for them really are not good this time around. And it's also been like a weird matchup. Like, we're getting Heal Spirit as like the reward for this, even though it's an Golem challenge, so that seems kind of strange to me personally. So I don't like that their like themes aren't really matching up, but that's just personal preference really. And I'm really not a fan of these challenges that promote like the toxic stuff, but I also do have the attitude of I'd rather see this kind of thing in a special challenge where we're all playing it versus on ladder. Like, this is not something you should ever be playing on ladder. I don't want to ever see this on ladder. So I messed up, and we're probably gonna lose because of that. I was really hoping that we would take an easy 3 wins here, but that is not gonna be the case. It is different than like the other spawner challenges because Eagle really can't defend. While when we did the Rascal Girls challenge, which is probably one of my favorite challenges that Clash Royale has ever done, the Rascal Girls can actually be both defensive and offensive, so I find that really cool. Alright, so we're just gonna go back and there's Goblin Hut. I'm actually surprised I haven't seen more Goblin Hut. This is the first time I think I've actually been in a match against Goblin Hut, so that's kind of weird given the prevalence it has in the current meta. Yeah, this guy's playing a lot of... Hi everyone, Mrs. Adamantium still here. Sorry about that sudden cutoff. So I had an interruption in the match and in the recording, so I unfortunately didn't get to finish recording those matches, and I never turned the recording back on, so I don't have footage of those. However, I do have the replays, obviously, so we're going to take a look at the final replay of the 9th game. I lost a couple more matches, but won more matches and managed to finish out the challenge, win the 9th match. So that was really great. Continued on with that same deck I showed earlier. And now I also do want to amend something I said earlier about buildings not really being necessary. I don't think they are necessary. I think potentially certain buildings could be helpful. Something like Goblin Hut or Bomb Tower that's really meta right now, well, I don't think it's necessarily the best choice, because I stand by what I said earlier of the E-Golems, once they start being 2 or 3 coming at a time, they're going to easily take down a building. However, I do think at the start, when it's just the one, you can still manage to defend pretty well the buildings. So it's really personal preference. You can see we took an early lead here by getting so much damage on both towers, and that baby dragon would take down the tower on the right. And I really would say in this game mode, once you get one tower down, it's really hard to come back from it. I actually in an earlier game was able to come back from it and win a match that I initially had lost a tower on. However, I do think generally it seems to be that more often than not, it's a 3-crown situation in this E-Golem spawning game mode. So once that one tower is down, it's really hard to defend from the E-Golems going after that king tower, and you'll see that's exactly what happened here. That the E-Golems pushing in on that right side, my opponent really just ignored them, and that's what lost him the game, because they were able to take down the king tower and get that 3-crown win. So that was the 9th win. Honestly, I thought the challenge was madness and frustrating at times, but also a lot of fun. So if they were to decide to throw this in the party mode at some point, that could be a lot of fun. I hope you guys were able to successfully participate in this challenge. If they do it again, I definitely would recommend the deck that I played. It was really solid. Didn't win every match, but was good overall. I think it's really hard to win every match in this challenge, just because it's such a crazy, insane challenge. So many cards coming at you, so many E-Golems. It's so easy to leak Elixir because you're randomly getting it from defeating the E-Golem. I'm sure there's some people who have some real good strategy against it, but honestly, I think the point of this game mode really is just for it to be a fun free-for-all, and that definitely is what it felt like. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon. Bye.